All right, so everybody get plenty to eat. Looks like we got some left over there. Take some home with you, put it in your pockets or something. On the food end, we talked about this before, but Shelby has a job change and he's out of town most of the week. So we're looking for somebody that would take over the food arrangements starting in January. And it's just a matter of filling out a spreadsheet of the different restaurants, confirming with them, you know, the menu and the cost, and line them up. And basically everybody we've got now, you just say, hey, can you do it again? What you did last time on this day. But then a few of them, we have to go get it. Most of them, a lot of them will bring it. And I'm kind of down to the point, if they won't bring it, I'm okay not use them. Because it's just asking a lot, you know, to have to go get it, bring it in. But if somebody would like to take that on, we would like to get somebody, Shelby would like to pass that on to somebody else.
I'm willing to help if we could maybe do it quarterly or something like that, you know, just take it on.
If you just take the first 4 quarters of 2023, that'd be great.
Well, that was, I'll help, I'm prepared. I'm here to help.
Okay, well, somebody's got to organize and then you get your help.
I'll do it, but
There we
I'm
go.
also good at delegating and saying, okay.
That's great.
I'm just saying that up front. Just up front.
That's what you gotta have.
That works.
Yeah.
All right, so Sherry will take that on, and then I know Debbie said she could help some, John would help some. Somebody else told me, but I forgot who. Anyway, if you'd like to help Sherry, but there you go. Okay, so our speaker has had a conflict and had to go out of town, so we don't have Mr. Durham with us today, but we'll get him back.
Alan, could I speak on his behalf for just a minute?
On behalf of Dan? Does he know you're going to do this?
No.
So this is an unauthorized representation of Mr. Durham.
This really has nothing to do with Dan, but on Monday, when Alan Clayton had his stroke, they being fairly new to Campbellsville, they never heard of Harry back. Well, they didn't give them an option at the hospital as to whether they could go to Louisville in an ambulance or if they were going to go by helicopter. It all depended on the test they got back on his body. So I want to say to each and every one of you, it can cost you $35,000 or more, depending on what they might have to do within the helicopter, if you don't have Air back. I think right now the fee for the year is $85. Now that's a no-brainer. Alan was just as healthy as a horse, and bam, there he went. So I would just highly advise.
And that's for a family thing.
That
In a household.
It's actually a whole household, so anybody that lives in your house, and actually, if you do a 3-year, it drops to 65 years.
I would just highly advise.
Yeah.
And a lot of health savings plans will pay for your air evac membership.
Membership, yeah. So, yeah, that's a great point. If you don't have to need it for once to really make it a worthwhile investment. I hope I'm never on it, never been on it, but I've watched a lot of people get loaded on it, blown off, family members and friends and different folks. So there was you may remember 4th of July, there was a couple trying to cross the road up here and stepped out in front of a car and got hit. And I mean, she was on a helicopter and headed out to Lexington in a matter of 10 minutes. They didn't go to the hospital. They went straight to the helicopter. So from the point of impact to her being probably in a level 1 trauma unit was 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I mean, that helicopter is a game changer for critical care. When my mother-in-law fell and broke her hip in my home 3 months ago, they didn't go to the hospital. They went straight to the helicopter. Went to the helicopter, loaded her up, and had her in Louisville in surgery within 90 minutes.
It's also, if it's available, it's available in many states throughout
Correct.
the United States. It's also transferable. You can do it if you're traveling and you're out and in that.
Yeah.
There's anything, there's other partnerships other than Airback, they all work
Yeah,
together.
there's like
So.
8
That's.
in the southeast. They got another neat little thing. It's like an extra, I don't know, $100 or something. But if you were to have an issue, if you're a traveler and you have an issue and you know, they have to put you in the hospital, when you get ready to be discharged, they will fly you home.
Oh.
Now, that's not part of the normal membership. It's like an extra $100 or something. But you can't do it when you need it. You gotta do it ahead of time, you know. Okay, so this, Dan Durham, this advertisement, we'll need a donation for this. Next Wednesday, we have Alfonso Alvarez, the Campbellsville University men's volleyball coach. And Jason tells me that he has some very interesting and neat stories to share with us. So put that on your calendar. Debbie and Jack are taking care of the ICU basket. And we had a conversation about that this week. First of all, that's phenomenal. It's great optics for the club, but it's just a great service to our community. But it's getting used so much, it really needs to be filled twice a week. So if somebody would like to pick up one of those times a week, Debbie would help coordinate that. They hold the stuff and get some donations. And if you would like to donate either snacks and or money, Debbie would be glad to take that. They kind of keep that at their house, but they're filling that up every week, and it's pretty much empty every week when you get back. You know.
Debbie, I have hundreds of hand sanitizer to give you.
Well, hand sanitizers, mouthwash, any personal hygiene, they leave in the basket.
Oh.
Most people are there kind of in an emergency situation, and they're looking for a snack because they're waiting on a doctor report or to find out how bad the situation is or whatever. So peanut butter and crackers and things that are, you know, shelf stable, bottled water, a little bottled water. But I understand we've got water pretty good. Is that right, Debbie?
Yes,
We're-
I'm extra, plenty of the small, only the small water.
Yeah.
Bottled water.
Yeah, they
And
fit
I'll
good
tell
in
you
the basket.
another item that's a good item, if I can catch it on clearance, chapstick.
Yep.
I like the chapstick.
You know, one of the things we may think about, and we'll talk about this, we're having a little board meeting afterwards. We can do chapstick pretty cheap and put our name on it.
Oh, okay.
So that might be something we maybe just think about, but anyway, we would like for somebody, and we're a little bit light today on our numbers, but we'd like for somebody that would be willing to pick that up and go out and fill that one more day a week for that. We'll just give you a little report, I guess, for lack of a better word. I went to the Pigeon Forge Rotary Club last Wednesday, and then I went to the Gatlinburg Rotary Club last Tuesday. And I'm reminded again how important signage is. So you notice we've got some new signs up out back. I just talked to Josh a minute ago. We're gonna put another one, directing people on in. In both cases, it was an adventure to find where that they were, because one of them met in a hotel, and they had a Rotary sign out front. So I thought, well, this is the entrance to use, and I went in and nothing. And I had the journey all the way to the front desk, which was not close, to find out where they meet. And the first person I asked didn't even know. And then the other one just pointed, they're back there, you know, but no signage to get you there at all. And I'm not dinging on them. I'm just saying, you know, we want to make sure that we're letting people know where we are. And then the same thing when I went up to the Gatlinburg one, it was interesting. But the speaker that they had at Gatlinburg was the guy that has managed the Sugarlands, which is the official horse riding stable in the state park for the last 20 some years. And a very interesting guy. He's a 6th generation Gatlinburgian. And he had lots of interesting stories and things that they had seen and done. And he was taking a horseback riding trail out, and a bear came off of a mountain and ran between his horse's front and back legs. And the horse never did. I mean, he stayed calm, you know. And so I'm not much of a horseback rider. It's really hard on my back, but all the rest of my family went, and they saw 2 bears. One of them was in the trail right in front of them, and it ran up a tree, so they went under it. This bear was down looking at them, you know. So they had a good time. But anyway, he was a very interesting speaker. And then the Pigeon Forge Club, the speaker was a wildlife rescue place there locally that did a lot of interesting things with some various critters, but their specialty was raccoons. I'm not really sure raccoons are worth saving, so I kind of checked out on that one. they eat my chicken, so I have to have a talk with them every now and then. We had a very interesting meeting, Diane. I hadn't had a chance to talk with you, so I apologize. So, but we had a meeting yesterday with HB Clark, who is the disc golf designer extraordinaire in the state of Kentucky. John and I met with him and Mr. Inman and whoever he had riding around with him, Crabtree and Joe. Yeah. Woods, yeah, there you go. Anyway, HB thinks that, you know, that whole facility can be turned into, with some work. He said it was a little lacking in character, but he thought we could develop some things with some of the wooding area. Looking at the maps of where the property lines were, there's actually some places that the city owns that has some woods in it. That John's working on some specific things on some issues but it looks very promising. Let's just go with that. Probably going to cost about $50,000 to put that in, but it'll kind of be a hallmark visitation area to add to that whole section down in there. So very cool. We'll kind of keep you updated as that's coming along.
And it's my understanding it's gonna be multi-level of expertise, like from beginning to expert with the different levels.
If I understood it right, and John jump in, the way he builds it, it is built for any level. And there's like an option on a couple of places to put tee boxes, and one a little bit more easy and one maybe a little more challenging. Every time you add a tee box, it's more cost. But anyway, he seemed like just a good guy, very relatable, and he has basically designed every disc golf course that appears in Kentucky and surrounding states. He's done many in Tennessee and Alabama and South Carolina, and number in Bowling Green, Shelbyville, Shepherdsville, Louisville, Frankfort. So we'll see where that goes on that. And we may just get out a little bit early, but does anybody have anything else specifically that you want to bring up? Randy?
What property were you going to put this in?
The disc golf is down, it will encompass the whole area of the green, what's it called, green?
It's the trailways down for.
The walking
Race
track.
Creek Walk, all the way
Oh,
from, like, the
yeah.
soccer field.
What's the actual name of that though?
Just like-
Green something, green belt, green way, green something?
It's the trailways.
Trailway. Okay, well, I'm gonna make it green today.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. We hope that it's green most of the time.
Disc golf is the metal basket with chain?
Yes,
It is.
yeah, it is very popular right now.
It's a cottage industry. I mean, if we do this, they'll wind up having
Tournaments. and
statewide
everything.
tournaments,
Yes.
and it'll bring,
A lot of revenue.
it really will.
And he said, you know, it's a pretty strong draw from like 16 or 18 all the way up into their 50s to 60s, you know, because it gives an opportunity to get out and walk. It's not as hard on your back. It's traditional golf in some ways, you know. So anyway,
It's kind of nice to have parking, the different areas of parking.
well, that's part of the conversation we got a little issue with, because he wants the parking in the middle if we can figure out a way to do that. Then John's got some ideas on
We
it.
have land above what's on top of the ridge, so we can maybe work.
Awesome.
something out up
Awesome,
there.
very cool. Yes, sir. I can tell you want to say something.
Well, the children's camp down at the lake had one, and I'm not there anymore, but you may want to be able to call them because they may have some extra baskets that they're not using anymore. I know that's one of the biggest costs is the baskets. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great discussion.
They had a 9-hole, but yeah, it's not in use anymore.
On that note, he also encouraged us somewhat along the lines of what the mayor's point was about challenge levels, but as a way to introduce the sport at a younger age is to maybe have a 3-hole course at a school. And that's where they develop the interest, and doesn't take a lot of space. You don't have to have the concrete pad mats, which where we're talking about doing it, you're talking about maybe I think 5 by 10,
Up to 12.
5 by
Yeah.
12 concrete pad. So, 18 course, if you just have one tee box per hole, we've got minimum of 18 pads, so those costs really go up, and we're appreciative that the city has already shown so much interest in this, and we'll be, hoping that we can get a lot of reciprocal services. But anyway, at the local schools, it would be great if they might consider, and that may be what
Actually,
what
I
we're
think
suggesting, if
they're
there's extra baskets.
they're
That
very excited about you doing it in general.
right,
So I don't think that you'll have any
yeah, that's great.
opposition.
Great. And John is going to kind of take lead on that project. So anybody that's interested in doing anything with it, feel free to reach out to him. Yes, Faye.
Two things. First of all, I just got word that Alan is being released this afternoon.
That's great.
So that's a great one. Do we have any word about the landscaping out at the pavilion?
Yep, that's next.
Okay, okay.
We're going to talk about that a little bit more in the board meeting, but we've had some places that has, gave us some offers on what they can do. We met with the city and their folks right before I left, and a lot of opportunities to do things out there. So we hope to spruce that up and move that along too. Anybody have anything else? Joe, how's your shoulder doing? Good, good.
The events committee is slacking. We need to have a meeting, the events committee.
When would you like to have
Yeah,
that?
fundraising committee.
When would you like to have that?
I sent a group shout out. Anybody else want to be a part of it? I can have.
I'll be a part of it.
No, no, listen.
4,000.
403 what?
2,000.
Really?
Here's 4,000.
Yes, sir.
What is our food drive this year?
Well, we're gonna nail that down.
Well, as long as the dates line up.
Do you have a date that doesn't work?
But we would like to help again.
Well, we would like for you to help again. I can already say that.
So where do you all take your food?
We take the food to the food thing, the food pantry.
But check with him, last year they had a lot of food, so.
I just want to throw this out there. So if our schools are collecting, I've noticed that it's going out. We have 120 on the Feed America backpack program every week.
I'm sorry, what are you saying?
Our school kids need the food.
Okay,
You see what I'm saying? Like I am servicing. Okay, 155 between Head Start, Campbellsville, and Taylor County School District, 150 kids. So we're servicing that many families. So I think we need to think about when we do all these food drives, like FFA does one, and Rotary does one, and all these. And it's a lot of times we're not keeping the food for our kids to pick up. We're putting it out. When we have 155 families that could benefit from that food drive.
well, hopefully whoever's getting this benefit from it, but
But you see what I'm
are you
saying?
asking us to maybe split and do some of it food pantry and some of it to your
I'm
organization?
just saying to the, yes, the Feed American kids.
Maybe yeah, is that a separate, I'm not sure exactly what that means,
So-
Brandy, so I'm sorry.
So it's Feed America backpack program.
Okay,
And so every week I order bags and we're servicing right now 155 students in the whole county. Head Start,
those 155 students are taking what?
weekly bags home every week.
Like for their whole family or just for them?
It's an easy 12 item usually. It's got little easy foods, microwave foods. But I'm just saying,
To kind of carry them over the weekend.
it's to carry them over the weekend. But I'm just
Okay.
saying, when we do like all these food drives, I think we need to think about.
Well, let me ask you this, we generally get a fair amount of cash. Would that be better so you could buy specific things that fit in the parameters of your package?
No,
No?
I'm just saying, when we're collecting it at school, and Spencer's wrestling team is collecting, he needs to think, oh, should we give it all or should we service our backpack kids first?
But I mean, you can't put anything in a backpack, so do you have specific things?
It would be parent pickup.
He's saying
Okay,
if they got money and they donated to you, you
Yes.
could go get
I could.
Pop Tarts or.
more specific to what you
little
knew fit your
Yeah.
needs best. Thank you for that gift of
Plus, I
interpretation.
think in general, we're working, there are multiple people working in general with our community,
Right?
with Hometown Connect, the food bank, the school systems as a whole to try to come up. Homelessness and just the need for food in general has grown exponentially. So with that being said, several people in the community are working on trying to get it divided more equity.
Yeah.
Faceted for the different
For sure.
groups and associations. So maybe in the next week or two, that will develop better.
Okay,
Because we're coming into the season where it's needed the most.
Right.
To where we can maybe bring back more information in
absolutely.
regard to the distribution of things.
Okay, yeah, please let us know on that. Ayla, when are you looking out for Phoebe Fridays at this point? Are you in the next year?
Full until March.
Okay, that's great, but pick us a Friday sometime on up in there and just let us know when it is.
Somebody off.
Eric's over here going, not when it's hot. We'll check out of here in just a minute. I will tell you, the Imagination Library, real quickly, Faye, what do we got?
Well, we've had some more to graduate, but we have a total of 910 who have been involved with the program.
That's great. So, I feel like that I should, get invited to Dolly's home as much as I was at Dollywood last week. We went to Dollywood 3 days. But they have a new opportunity for you. They have Dolly's Bus. That is a suite that you can rent at Dollywood 2 nights. It comes with your own personal chef to cook for the whole time you're there. Your own monogrammed robe you get to bring home. Tickets to Dollywood is $10,000. And all the funds go to Imagination Library.
Did you do it?
Waiting list, you know how it is.
Yes.
But all the funds go to the Imagination Library. So if anybody's looking for something fun to do and has plenty of disposable income, there you go. So I just happened to read a little thing about it this morning. They said it was pretty darn cool. That's all I've got for today on an unprepared thing. And we need to kind of get our board meeting out quickly anyway. So if nobody has anything else, we will finish up. Did I miss anybody for anything? No? Okay, good deal. Let's stand and close with our 4-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Oh, hey, real quick, before you go, the 4-H asked me to announce they're having a little fundraising luncheon, and it's a pork loin lunch fundraiser. If you'd like to sign up for that, there's a little sheet here. Pass that around, sign your name to it, help lift to your office. I mean, she's doing better.